25-year-old crippled Danjuma, who died on Tuesday, was said to be a physically challenged person. It was learned that until his death, some of his relatives abandoned him in a refuse dump at the backyard of a family house.
They put me for a compound. When they beat me, they throw me. They turn and throw them my leg. I'm not going to be a peck. I'm not going to be to. I no more that.
Moved with pity, a former commissioner for women affairs in Edo State, Mrs. Florence Igbenigi, took the boy to the hospital where he was treated before being taken to the Ministry of Women Affairs for upkeep. It was, however, gathered that officials of the Ministry of Women Affairs refused to take custody of the cripple and returned him to the family house, where he eventually died. Reacting to the development, the President, Network Advocacy for Persons with Visible Disability, Barrister Melody Omosa, and the former Commissioner for Women Affairs, Mrs. Florence Igbenigi, expressed shock at the news of Danjuma's death. They said the late Danjuma ought to be safe at the Ministry of Women Affairs, where he was taken for rehabilitation.
It was called upon this morning that Danjuma, whose story has been in the news, died, and I was in shock. If the family could not help, and if spirited individuals in society could not help, can't also an agency of government saddled with that responsibility would have ensured that at least that young man is still continuing to live.
They never told me where Danjuma was. I left Danjuma with them. They never told me, I didn't know, and at the end of the day, I saw Danjuma in that state, and Danjuma died. What could you expect? And our flight in the night, and the child dies in the morning. You go to the ministry and ask them what happened to Danjuma. Because I told them that the family of Danjuma put Danjuma in a dustbin. And you now brought Danjuma back again to that same dustbin. Then how do we reconcile that?
When contacted, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Blessing Megida, said the ministry took custody of late Danjuma, but later returned him to one of his aunts, who agreed to cater for the boy, maintaining that the ministry never rejected him.
We found out that he has families within Edo State. After our social inquiries, we decided to reconcile him with his family, of which we reconciled him with one of his auntie at Igbioko. We have her phone number, we have details of the woman, and she agreed to take custody of the body.
Reacting in a telephone interview, the said relative of late Danjuma, Josephine Iriase, denied ever meeting with officials of the Ministry of Women Affairs, maintaining that the boy was never at any time entrusted to her.
I gave them my senior sister's number. I gave them my senior brother's number. They should take it there. I did not say if I leave that there in the marriage. They did not give it to me. I did not accept it. Who signed the paper that I will accept it? Ask him if he knows me. If he knows me, if you are talk one to one, ask him or her. I don't know them. They don't know me. Why should they don't force an allegation on me?
At the time of this report, the corpse of late Danjuma was still lying on the road at house number 33 Oza Street off Sokomba Road in Benin City, which is said to be where his uncle resides. Best Mbire reporting.